remember about 77,492 points, I think 8 hours ago, when the object 277 wasn't added yet, and the T-10 led still to the IS-7. This was recorded during that time before the 277. I was actually also grinding experience towards the 277. Because I already had unlocked the IS-7, I had a crew in the T-10, and I adored my T-10 back when I was still playing it for the IS-7. But here we are, on 92% towards that third mark, hoping to maybe actually finally get it. And it won't be easy, because I lost health to artillery, my own team, because I pulled forward right as they shot. It was my fault, not them. Bouncing off the turret of an E100 with premium. And it's not going to get any easier from here. I'm gonna bounce off that VKB you're gonna see starts in the distance later on, but you won't see that. I'm gonna bounce off a 704, and I'm going to bounce here off this T-10. And just to make matters worse, artillery kills me. Good start.
Silent night.
Do you even know how to crack an egg? Silence!
I hope you all enjoyed last Saturday's video on the Banar Ever, because I wanted to be the first one to do something different than just maybe a tank review and footage. I wanted just, you know, it's my own style of video, and I kind of just wanted to do that before either it was released or to my rental period ends, because I, like everyone else, had a 7-day rental period. By the time you see this video, I will not have it anymore, sadly enough. But that's okay, because I still got to make that video. I have good memories of the EBR. It's a fun tank. I have the first mark. I aced it, and it will be on YouTube until YouTube either dies or removes that video for reasons. Hey, you know what a deer looks like caught in the headlights of a car? That's me right now, dying.
Simply having a wonderful Christmas time. Simply.
Big lines at the Genius Bar that week.
5 minutes and 20 seconds into this game, and we still have not done any damage. I've driven to where the Grill 15 is on the map, but it's okay. Well, not really. It's terrible, but at least we've killed the 50B. The first shot on the 705A is just RNG at its finest. The second shot actually does pen and hit, thank God. There's 2 artillery, I'm fully aware, but I'm kind of antsy. I want to do damage. I don't want to drop in the mark significantly. A little bit I can handle, but not a huge amount. That's just demotivating, and I want to have nothing to do with it. We even bounce a shot off the Scorpion G, because that's how pro I am. I do believe I'm never going to roll high this entire game. That T-30 just fired, so we can just poke over and take our time and shoot him in the track and not even track him. Another low roll though. Quality. Hey, so remember how I make these part 1 and part 2 videos? It is because I don't really want to make an hour-long video anymore. I think that's too long. Too long.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
You can drown it, you can microwave it, you can drill it, and you can bend it. And it'll still pull out some of your hair.
Merry Christmas, everyone! I totally didn't forget to wish you all that, because I'm so busy with these videos, I can't really remember where I'm really at right now. Also, it's not a film marking video if I don't drop in the mark first, so that's how you know that I am the idiot actually playing these games and not someone I paid. Because who would I pay to then drop in my mark? That would be a terrible deal. That's not something you would do. That's a terrible business plan. That FE, remember when the FE was tier 10? It was my very first tier 10. And then it got removed and I got the Centurion Action 10 and I loved that to pieces. I was so excited for it. And then it became a tier 8 and then I never touched it again because it was dog shite. We killed the 430U and now you're gonna see a magnificent piece of RNG. First the 5120 tracks us and we repair so he doesn't unload on us. Then we go unspotted and we are kind of safe for the moment. We can easily take a shot from whoever is here, and the first tank we see is going to be the AMX-30. We put a shot in. Only if I roll like a god I would have been able to kill him, but I don't, which means that he has to reload over me, and he makes the right decision to come in and shoot me. But he rolls low, min rolls. I would have been able to kill him if he didn't also damage my ammo rack. So I'm lucky to survive, unlucky that my ammo rack gets destroyed, or damaged in this case, so I couldn't still kill him. Jesus, that is like positive, negative, what is it? It's neutral maybe? I am not quite sure, because I still came out safe in a way. There's a Foch that's shooting at us, and because that AMX-30 rolled low, we at least got one more shot in.
So this is Christmas.
This bitch ASMR to French fry. I take back everything I said.
For the first time in this video, we are top tier. And against tier 7 as well, pretty much the best matchmaking you can have, even though they have 2 artillery. And it is, in my opinion, one of the worst maps to even push on. That Scorpion G is the luckiest son of a bitch in the world. But I'm luckier that he is stupid enough to fire high explosive for the time being. So that is good. We shoot and roll like a god on that SU-152. That's pretty cool. This SP-1C has had enough of life and decides to drive out and die. I want to poke because I am top tier. I have to be aggressive, but the Scorpion has switched to his premium. The T-54 Mod 1 is also firing APCR. And it doesn't really matter because actually after this point, killing the T-34-100 with an ammo rack, shit kinda goes down the drain. Because we fire at the Scorpion, I am not sure if we hit him or not, because he goes unspotted the moment the shell should have hit. But that T-54 Mod 1, I swear he must be Zeus or some shit. Because, yeah, luckily he bounced because he's firing AP, but now the Scorpion G's gone, the Crusader hits us. It's annoying, we heal our stun, and I bounce off the side of the Mod 1 and we base this on absolutely nothing, and he gets to kill me because this shit really grinds my gears.
Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer had a very shiny nose.
Her lips are the moistest substance known to man.
One server switch later, and adding food, or I guess rations is it called for the Russians? Adding rations to our tank. We find ourselves on Malinovka, top tier, with no artillery, so maybe that server switch was the best thing that I have done since starting this video. Because all I have been doing is rolling low and dropping in the mark, and we are about 9 minutes into this video and I haven't really had a solid good game yet. I'm not quite sure how I was able to just continue playing this, because I'm getting annoyed watching like all of this back. There's one problem though. Ever since switching server and adding food to my tank, I've gathered a different symptom. I've got lag spikes in the recording. I'm not sure how long these will last. I can't remember having them in the gameplay, so it was OBS having a bit of a wobble after the server switch. I'll try and work around it if I can, but if I can't, because there's so much action happening, like right now, I'm just like reloading and aiming, sitting still. Look at that action, that's quality action right there. I'll try and work around the lag spikes as much as I can, or the frame drop. We kill the Samoa SM, and for once we might actually, instead of drop, rise in our mark again. It's been 10 minutes. It's been like half an hour in real time, even more playing this game, and we eventually do kill the Loa, hitting it in the side of the turret. With normal AP, I must be magical. That Scorpion G really wants to shoot me, not once but twice, but he gets spotted and we get our revenge.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
Ever had fish sausage?
Obscenely questionable.
I did it, comment section. I'm finally kind of not really back to where I started 10 minutes ago. And this was a terrible game here on Himmelsdorf. There was no place for my team to be actually good. I just wanted to force damage out of this game. And by the looks of it, I am not going to stick around where I am at the mark right now. All that hard work on Malinovka, all those beautiful shots are going to be negated because of Himmelsdorf.
Santa Claus is coming to town.
You don't want your ass to be dry, you want your ass to be clean.
If you want to go back and look how incredibly terrible that team is, you will still not be surprised that I came second on damage in that game. I played like shit, but my team was even worse than I was. And that's why in those games it's literally impossible to even remotely rise in your mark. And just like in the Himmelsdorf game, I've got a terrible start here with just the enemy getting better tanks. I mean, look at them. Why do they get 2 Type 5 heavies and we don't get super heavily armored heavy tanks? It's pretty obvious in this game who's going to win. They've got tanks with gun depression on top of the little hill. We don't. Sometimes matchmaking just decides that you're going to have a shit game and you're going to hate it and you're going to lose. So deal with it. So in this game, after we lose the hill and I lose a lot of health, I go into damage control and that's it. I go to the back of the map and I shoot what I can shoot. Sadly enough, I missed the LTTB and Type 5 Heavy exists.
God rest ye merry gentlemen, let nothing you disturb.
So I tell the swamp donkey to sack it before I give her a tonk in a tradesman's entrance and have a lick me yarbles.
Oh, look at that! We're finally top tier again with 2 artillery. But that is fine because I'm fairly sure that RT will not shoot us as long as we just stay really quiet. They're like dinosaurs, they're really stupid and they can't see you if you stand still. Now I know that myth has been debunked and dinosaurs do actually see you while you're standing still. But I just like to imagine that artillery is still really stupid, and after those 2 games on Tundra and Himmelsdorf, I don't mess about and I'm just gonna fire heat at the front of this KV-4 because I don't want any stupid RNG low penetration roll AP bounces. I just want to make sure that I shove out that damage and that I actually just at least stay on this mark percent that I'm on now instead of dropping more. I do not want to see 91 point something percent. At least stay on 92. God, I suck. There's a reason why I've been delaying the T-10 for so incredibly long trying to get that mark, because I had multiple attempts. And in this one, my attempt gets cut short because my team decides to cap.
Santa baby, a 54 convertible to...
It's gonna be an interesting shit tomorrow.
Prokhorovka. Of course it's Prokhorovka. This is just going to be a compilation of shots because there's nothing to do in a heavy tank on Prokhorovka except for sit in the middle, get spotted and die because of artillery, or you go onto the hill where you don't get spotted as often and you still die. You know that whole blacklist thing that Wargaming was teasing us with in that little booklet in that video that they made? You can guess which map I would put on that blacklist. It would start with a P and end with the literal worst map in the entire world of Tanks. Rovka. So yeah, I wish I had the accuracy of that batch head as well.
Get off my plane!
All I have to do to eventually get this 3rd mark on my T-10 is average around 3.5 to 3.7k damage. And I cannot do that here on Glacier. Because my team has already pretty much died 4 minutes into this game. And I've gone to the wrong flank. Which it didn't feel like it, because if I went to the other side I would have already been dead with how little damage I probably would have done there. Chances are more than on this flank.
Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bell swing and jingle bell. I love you, dog!
There it is. There's that dreaded 1 in the 91%. I honestly don't know at that point how I kept on playing to get that completely useless, uninteresting, and most importantly, unimportant 3rd star on my T-10. I don't know. I must have been possessed or something, because this is ridiculous. Anyway, Redshire, where my team doesn't follow and the damage doesn't matter.
Life supply of balls.
The statistics of how I did in that game are obviously extremely unimportant, and I switched servers so I wasn't able to view them. Anyway, we won that game, God knows how. You know, at this rate I'm actually starting to doubt if I get that mark or not, because This is horrible. This is literally like the worst I've played in the T-10 since I started playing it stock. This is quality content of the other end of the skill. This is... oh, this is bad. Actually, no, you know what? With those 2 shots of damage done, I've already done better than the previous 2 games. This is the kind of mental state I am in. I'm just there like, I've done better than the previous 2 games. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. There is a god that his name is Serb and he hates me. But every so often, the stars seem to align and Stalin comes back from the lowest depths of hell to slap Serb in the face and tell him that I am playing a Soviet tank. And as a Soviet tank, I have to be strong, powerful, and on the good side of RNG. So Stalin comes in, guides my shots, makes sure the enemy misses. Like, for example, this T-30, not once, but in the future twice. And we end up having an actual decent game for the first time in, I think, 3 or 4 attempts. So that is nice of Stalin. Well, I'm not saying that Stalin was a nice man. I mean, he put his own son in jail. That, yeah. Okay, Stalin was not a good man. But at least I have a good game in the T-10. So that's a first. It's been too long. Far too long.
So here it is, Merry Christmas, everybody.
And the subtle anxiety takes over. Thinking is dangerous.
And this is, by the way, where I noticed that marking mod I have is not always accurate. Of course, it's not going to be always accurate to the 0.01%, but this time it was actually quite far off. With me showing in-game on the marking mod that I was going to be on 92.33%, I actually ended up on 91.90, which is 0.4%. And when I saw that, I was kind of disappointed. I thought I was like, we're finally in the 92% again, and then it's just a slap in the face, followed by another slap in the face. That is this game with this team. I drove to the middle where I saw we were going to be outflanked, so I drove back to the base to help them shoot from the side, because if I would have gone in, I would have just died with the team. But instead, literally, I die in my own trying to defend the base from a damage control position. So yeah, we had a good game followed by literal shit again. And I just don't know what to do in these games. I drove into my own position, half of my team dies, and then there's nothing I can do anymore. I'm sick of this matchmaking.
Because the more girls you talk to, the more rejection you got to go through in life. Can't get rejected if you don't talk to them. So I jack off all the time.